GG7 is an upper body workout with 3 main goals. We're going to master scapular movement. We're going to bulletproof the wrists and the shoulders. And we're also gonna fix imbalances between sides because you can only go as far as your weak side. All right, so we gotta fix that up. Now listen, this is a progression on GG1 and GG4. So if you need to continue with those previous routines and you're not ready for this, or back off to some easier movements wherever that makes sense, please do so, okay? It might take you more time, but we're gonna really start picking things up with these routines, so get ready. Great place to start working your external rotators in the shoulder. Start light. I'm using a 5, and this is plenty for me, especially when using range of motion and control. But you can progress this with the same weight by moving into more of a 90-90 shape. So instead of being here, get that arm up at 90 degrees, all right? And now, this is much more challenging to stabilize, and this is also the position where you're much more likely to injure your shoulder away from your trunk. So here we are, I lock in, let's root down. I like to get into a split kneeling position to mobilize this hip flexor and get more stability in my core so I can isolate the movement through the elbow and shoulder. Here we go, exhale up. Almost kind of a top bicep pose there. Inhale down. If you want to try to get lower and enhance the internal rotation stretch, you can. Again, that's why you want to start light on this. If you're muscling through this, it's not going to work. Now, another option, if you need more stability and support, is to use a high tabletop chair. You can even use an inclined bench or that type of setup. And what this allows me to do is just kind of lock in the pattern more, all right? So I can make sure I never lower my shoulder. Some of you might start and you'll be doing the movement and then moving from that position. So this just kind of allows you to really isolate the movement and even enhance the stretch more, especially for the internal rotation component. If you can't get enough internal rotation, it makes it really hard to get deep on movements like pull-ups and dips. Now, the dumbbell option is great. It adds more eccentric stress or that lowering stress, but the band option gives you more concentric or contraction stress. So here's what I like to do. I attach it, let's say between waist and shoulder height, and I like a slight upward trajectory. I also like to have it, if I'm using my right side, it's attached toward my left, which makes me have to retract and even kind of take this wrist and push away to maintain that 90-degree angle. So lock your core in. And again, I'm not letting this come down. This never changes. All right? This will blow up those external rotators, fortify the rotator cuff, and allow you to go as heavy as you want on the big upper body mass gaining movements like pull-ups, presses, dips, and rows. But you got to commit to it. Great warm-up drill. Now this might look painful for the uninitiated, but if you want to build resilience in your wrists and never have to worry about extended time in a plank or a push-up and being like, can I do this? It hurts. This is how you start. Get into a kneeling position, unload your body weight. I can do this on the floor, but elevating the heel of my hand on a slant board allows me to really enhance the stretch. Now look at me what I'm doing. I'm coming back, and I'm really making sure the heel of the hand stays down. I also look at my fingers, what's going on? Oh, it looks like the knuckles are kind of crunching. I don't have enough spacing. So you use this as an opportunity to kind of spread out and pancake your hand down. I even like to block and post up here, side to side. I can add rotation, and I can even start to work my scapula, keeping the arm completely straight. I'm mobilizing the shoulders and the wrists. Now, once that feels good, what do you want to do? You want to take it to the next level and add more body weight support with a plank. I can take it further with a scap, push-up, or shrug from that position. Now, once I'm comfortable in that position, no problem. And again, the more motion I get through my wrist, the better position I can put in my shoulder for advanced movements like single arm push-ups. He's 40. The Pike shrug, a progression on our scapular movement, working on scapular elevation and depression, helping you get better for pull-ups and handstands, snatches, whatever your overhead work is. Now, a couple setup options. We're gonna elevate the feet on a stable box bench or chair. Ottoman works too. I can have slant boards, which I'll show, or I can modify with push-up handles, which will give me more of a joint-friendly neutral grip for the wrists and shoulders. It tends to feel easier, and you get a little more stability and support by being able to squeeze those handles. So that's an option. But if I have my fingers elevated on the slant boards, I actually can get more wrist stretch into this. Here's what we do. I get into my Pike position. and I'm gonna keep my arms completely straight. That's the key. I can't bend. All right, we're not pressing or pushing up yet. Keeping it straight, I'm gonna inhale down and exhale. As I push away, I'm trying to push my shoulders to my ears and really just activate that area. Get those low upper traps going. Now, your earlier reps, you may notice a little bit of bend in the elbows, but as you kind of do a couple, try to get it as straight as possible. Again, we're trying to make sure the motion is exclusively through this guy. So it's definitely challenging. We start with our basic movements first, but now if you're ready for this, this is gonna help set the tone for insane shoulder development and stability. Woo! Get ready for the best forearms, biceps, and back workout using just your body weight with the changing grip pull-up complex. We start with the hardest grip first, overhand, either for reps or a set period of time. You do as many quality reps. Inhale down, get a good stretch at the bottom, and then try to really squeeze and activate those lats at the top. Now, once I'm done with those or cashed out or I have to move on in a timing sequence, I go from that grip to neutral grip. Now I'm gonna hit more brachialis. So here we go, same concept. And then once I'm cashed out there, I finished with underhand grip, my strongest grip, maximum biceps recruitment, but now the pump is just precious. Pull-up is already tough, but when you add intensifying techniques like this, advanced bodybuilding protocols, it's next level stuff. And it actually decompresses your spine instead of wearing it down, like a deadlift or other stupid exercises people do. Bye. If you want to build a great back, you've got to get familiar with the row. Now, I prefer the inverted or bodyweight row because there's less spinal stress, more core and glute activation, and you can do it more often and more frequently because it's easier to recover from. Now, once you can do 10 to 20 plus reps, let's intensify. Let's make the same weight feel more challenging. So what I do is I come up all the way, exhale, arms form 90-degree angles, inhale halfway down, exhale back up, and then go all the way back down. That's a 1.5 reps. So what I'm doing is I'm spending twice as much time in the most challenging portion of the exercise to make my back grow more and ultimately make it harder, okay? With the same weight. Make lightweight feel heavy, baby. That's one of my keys to longevity at this tender age of 40.5. Blow up your back and traps in a good way with the 2-to-1 row to shrug. Now, I am personally elevating my toes on slant boards to stretch my ankles and hips more, all right? Get a little more hamstring stretch to get more out of this exercise while I'm building my upper body. So here's what I do. I'm gonna inhale down through the nose into the belly. Only go as low as I can without letting that happen, right? That's not good. So if I have to come up higher, I will. But I go as low as I can, kind of closing the car door with my butt, head in line with the spine, and a slight natural arc in the back. Now, 2 rows. I like to add that little rotation. Arms form 90-degree angles. Then I'm gonna exhale through. Now, I could go super heavy and kind of go real fast and get nothing out of this exercise, or I can keep them away from my body, engage my lateral or medial delts more, and go slow. Squeeze those upper traps hard. Inhale down, and then repeat for time. Pair of 25-pound dumbbells or less will change your life, especially for, let's say, sets of 2 or 3 minutes, but it won't take long. Lots of time under tension, better muscular contraction, easy on the joints. What more do you want in an exercise? All right, the Pike push-up is your gateway to handstand push-ups against the wall, or ideally in free space down the road. We're gonna elevate the feet in a stable box, bench, chair, or ottoman, and we have a couple setup options that I recommend. I'll be using the push-up handles because I think it's the best way to extend the range of motion, and it's super easy on the wrist and the shoulders. You can also elevate your fingers on a pair of slant boards to get more range of motion, because you actually get your head kind of dip in between the slant boards to get that extra inch or two, if you will, but it also stretches your wrists more, so that's a variation you can work into the exercise. I actually attach some fat grips to this, which allows me to take a little more stress off the wrists and elbows, and I can do a little more palm pressing, which I feel is the strongest way to press. But beginners, close your hands. I like to do it this way. Inhale down, And notice how see how much lower I can get with this extended motion. I'm gonna pause for a count and then push all the way through. Inhale down, exhale up. It's the king of shoulder exercises, all right? It's the king of shoulders exercises. Respect the exercise, focus on full range of motion, go slow in the beginning, all right? But I think you'll enjoy this movement. The dip is the king of chest and triceps exercises. The reason it's so great is I get such a stretch on my chest. Stretch is really important to maximizing muscle gain. Now, once you can do 10 plus reps dips, you know, you can go to a heavy weight vest or add a dip chain, but I always look for accessibility and how can I put less stress on my shoulders? Let's make the same weight. Let's make the same weight more challenging, all right? With the 1.5 rep. Here we go. I go all the way down, inhale down. I like to go knees to floor, or I like to get a good dip, but I keep the forearms vertical. Exhale up halfway. Inhale back down. Push all the way up. Twice as much time in the bottom half of the movement where it's most challenging, and we're really putting the chest under stretch. You wanna make those pecs percolate. Try this exercise today. You'll love it. No, you won't, but you will. No, you will. Nah, maybe you'll hate it. No, you'll love it. The changing grip push-up complex will crush your core and your chest and trick out your triceps. I like to use push-up handles because for many people, this will take pressure off your wrists and shoulders, and it will also allow you to extend the range of motion for better chest work. Now you can mimic the same thing with slant boards, but if you elevate the fingers, you get a better wrist stretch. You can also elevate the heel of the hand to take pressure off the wrists, and this also extends the range of motion in the exercise. But I'll show this option, and for people that have shoulder pain, that slight elevation puts your scapula in a better position, so you're less likely to shrug and roll. So what I'll do is I'll start for either time or reps with the close grip, the hardest option. It's most range of motion, and it makes your triceps have to work harder. Inhale down, exhale up. From there, just move it to more of a medium position, kind of a regular push-up grip. Finally, go as wide as you can without putting the shoulder under too much strain or stress. And this is the hardest one for your pecs. Also, it challenges your shoulder stability the most. 1, 2, 3. Whew! I'm lactating. Take on this triceps and shoulders challenge today. A light pair of dumbbells will work. This is a pair of 25s, and it lights me up. So 2 presses. Inhale down, exhale up. 1 overhead triceps extension. I like to get it all the way down to my traps. All right, so what I'm doing is 2 reps where I'm strongest because I've multi-joint compound exercise, and only 1 rep where I'm weakest in a single joint isolation exercise. But because the triceps are an assisting muscle group on the press, which is a primary shoulder exercise, it makes the isolation tricep exercise feel twice as hard, okay? But it's easier on the elbows and shoulders. You get more miles out of this type of pattern. Do it for higher reps or time. Incredible pump, incredible! My favorite part of the workout is when you're done, just relaxing, thinking about all you accomplished. Now look, this is gonna challenge you in a real way, but there's a way to approach mentally these challenges. You might get discouraged. That's the wrong approach. The other side of it is, okay, I've got room to grow and build, and that's what it's all about. The distance between here and here, right here, okay? So lock in, do the best you can, modify as needed, but stay with me, and I'll take you all the way up to the promised land. You're done in 20 minutes. What is it? 20 minutes, you're done. Post-workout report, comment section below. Love you guys, peace.
Go.
Halfway. Rest. Go. Halfway. Rest. Go. Halfway. Go. Halfway. Rest. 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 Go. Halfway. Rest.